Hello. We've been running late with announcements this week, both the e-news on Thursday and this. The delay has a lot to do with some information you may have already read in the e-news, namely my recent decision with the surgeon to move ahead with spinal surgery on September the 14th. You probably are aware that in October of 2018, I had surgery to repair a herniated disc between my fifth lumbar and first sacral vertebrae. Although that surgeon was able to begin work removing the pressure on my sciatic nerve, there was enough scar tissue in the area that he decided to stop. We were in a surgery center rather than a hospital, and I think he just didn't have the resources there to do what was necessary to actually relieve my pain. This meant that I did not experience a relief of the symptoms of pain and numbness and weakness that I had been experiencing and that I continue to experience pain in my leg and foot if I exert myself at all. My present surgeon, who is with the Center for Advanced Medicine at Barnes Jewish Hospital, says that he believes that he can remove some calcification on the bone and some scar tissue and perform a fusion of the two vertebrae in such a way that he will be able to at least prevent the pain that I'm having in my leg. Any other improvement will be, in my terms, just gravy. We'll see what happens. But I thank you for your prayers and encouragement through this time. So many of you have been so supportive, and I only ask that you continue. Well, the surgery and recovery will put me out of commission for a few weeks, and I've been granted 5 weeks off. So for at least that long, I will not be able to edit the videos for our worship services as I've been doing these past few months. Additionally, then, our lead volunteer recording engineer, Ian Didrikson, will be the teacher of his son Anton's learning pod beginning on August 24th, so he will be unavailable for directing and recording. This leaves us in a situation in which simplifying our online worship will be necessary. So beginning next week, we will be pre-recording all of our worship services on a weekday and making the worship videos available for streaming starting on Saturday afternoons at our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Tomorrow, it's the same as always. We'll be on Zoom and YouTube. You'll see us there, but starting a week from tomorrow, things are going to change. Printed orders of worship will be available for you to download so that you can follow along. Those of you who receive transcripts of the service now, in the mail each week will probably notice very little different in what you'll be receiving. Coffee Fellowship on Sundays, starting on August 23rd, will begin at 11 a.m. using Zoom, and will on many Sundays be more than just a get-together. We'll have virtual communion on the first Sundays of months, and on October the 11th, the featured artist and ecologist from Earth, Art, and Faith Alive will be our guests. What is Earth, Art, and Faith Alive, you ask? I'll tell you. Earth, Art, and Faith Alive is an effort of our Ministry of Imagination, Creativity, and the Arts, led by Cliff Airy and facilitated by a team of church members. It's funded by the Lilly Endowment through a Vital Worship grant administered by the Calvin Institute for Worship. Back in 2008, a similar grant from the Calvin Institute made possible much of the artwork that is seen seasonally suspended from the vault of the sanctuary and located throughout the church. Earth, Art, and Faith Alive will provide the basis for our worship on October 11th and 18th. And as the services will be different from the way we usually do things, Coffee Fellowship then, on those dates, will include a pastoral prayer by Reverend Airy and the presence of the artist and ecologist I mentioned earlier on October the 11th. It will be important for us, as part of our pre-recorded online worship, to include prayers of the people that are current to the community. To do this, Elston McCowan, our student minister, and I, one of our student ministers, and I, will be hosting gatherings for prayer on Wednesday afternoons at 3 p.m. using Zoom. Log in as you would for worship using the URL bit.ly/JehovahJava, same one you use for worship, same one you'll be using for Coffee Fellowship. Use that URL, and we will be happy to greet you anytime between 3 and 4 p.m. to take your prayer requests and to pray with you. If we can't meet with us then, but you have requests for prayer, please give me a call or send me a text or shoot me an email. If you would like to lend a hand with worship while we're scattered on Sundays, please consider learning how to record and edit video. To do this, call me, and then we'll make arrangements for you to take part in one of our worship services that we're recording during the week and teach you everything that you need to know. For those of you who want to take part by offering a Not for Children Only segment, let me know, and we will make sure that you are part of the worship service that week, or in an upcoming week. For either of those, contact me. If you have a musical gift you'd like to share some Sunday, please contact Music Director Leon Berg. We'd love to hear from you. It would be wonderful to make our worship yet more and more congregational. That is to say, based out of the congregation. Okay, I've got to change the tone just a little. This past week and a few months ago, back in May, somebody online found the email addresses of our staff and maybe of others, and then posed as me asking for them to make purchases on my behalf. They didn't hack into my email. They registered new email addresses with Gmail and did their best then to convince their recipients that they were me. We managed to prevent any harm, mostly. I won't go any more into that except to say, I will never ask you to buy something on my behalf, and I will never ask you to send me money. I will ask you to send the church money. That's really important. You need to keep up with your pledges, and that information is included in the text below this message. But I will never ask you to send me money. Be suspicious if I do, and either report me to the moderator or send me a separate email as a reality check. When I called the police department about this, the person I spoke with said that she also works for a nonprofit that recently had someone scam them in the same way. That organization and we are redoing our websites and other online presence in order to make them more secure. Okay, this is flying out to you pretty late, so that'll be all for this weekend's announcements. I encourage you to read all the printed announcements below. Stay safe and healthy, and peace be upon you.